Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. I probably should be waving. Hello. 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 Wow, live. It's Monday. It's happening, baby. Improv story Monday time thingy my bobber do that. It's happening. Oh my gosh. Hello. Hello everybody. Welcome one. Welcome all to stream. I'm Little Old Red. In case you're new here and or forgot the name of the channel that you clicked on. If you did, probably should get that checked out. It probably could be bad. Little helpful advice there. But if you're not concerned about that, I hope your week has been good. I hope your day has been good. I still hope your day and week has been good if you are concerned about that. But if not, hopefully this little stream of mine will turn it all around for ya. That's always the hope we have here. That little old red stream, we always hope to make the best of everyone's. I don't know why I'm doing like a grandma voice. I just like started doing like, hello, Sonny, how are you doing today? Hey, Gerald, Timmy's here. Alright, Timmy? Yeah, Timmy. I don't know where that came from. Hold on. Okay, I had to get all the my silent laughs on me. I had to get them out. Welcome everybody. Welcome. Before we get into the story, I don't really have any news for what's happened to me today. Next week though, I do have news for next week. I'll mention this at the end of stream as well, but I just want to kind of just mention it quickly that Saturday stream may be earlier. It probably will be earlier than usual, pretty early, if at all, depending on my schedule. I'll let you know closer to the date. But also, the theater itself, you might not notice much of a change in come Friday, but I will let you know there will be a change, a very small, minor change to the theater, but something I actually think is pretty cool, and I enjoyed it. I made it. Yeah, you can all clap if you want. Just yeah, hey, made something. Yeah, but. This is a very, very, very minor change. I just thought it looked better aesthetically. And so, you will see that on Friday. Alright, hopefully that's enough to get people to come back for the next week. Okay, I'm done rambling. I don't... Words. I just had a brain fart all of a sudden. I'm trying to find the thing... Where is it? Dim the lights. There it is. But this story is kind of just like, I was trying to think of a story, and I had to go downstairs to get something. I was thinking there's some kind of broth I had to go downstairs to get, and we have a pantry downstairs, and so I have like all this like broth and cans and stuff, and so I just like saw a can of beans down there, several cans of beans, and I just stared at them. And then all of a sudden, this idea, like, I don't know if you can hear me snapping. There you go. It popped into my head, and like that, I created this story. So without further ado, how about we just get right into it? I'll dim the lights here for us. That's a little more. There we go. That's our usual. That's our usual. Maybe a little brighter than the usual, but it's still the usual. And without further ado, let's get into it. So this story starts at my house. One morning I got up from a nice nap, had a very pleasant dream about unicorns and puppies and what have you. And I thought to myself, you know what those unicorns and puppies inspired me to do? I'm gonna go make some tacos. Now, I'm a person who makes very good tacos. So much so that a person will bite into it, look shocked for a moment, and then just say, hey, this is a pretty good taco. And I say thanks. And we go on about our days. And so, you know, I always make tacos for others because people constantly want my help. It's a thing I do. But just, I thought, you know what? I'm gonna make some tacos. I'll make some tacos for myself. Give myself the treat that is a taco. And so, I walked into my kitchen. I prepared the taco shells. I got some cilantro, some onions, a little bit of chicken. Just a little bit of everything you need. I baked it all. I made it. I set it on the table. It was all great. And then I realized something. I was missing something very important. I searched through the cupboards. Nothing. I searched through the drawers. Nothing. I went into my recycling. I saw several cans, but they were all empty. I don't know why I'd have cans full of the stuff in my recycling. I was fresh out of beans. And I had a momentary panic attack. I can't make my tacos if I don't have beans. Oh no. Those are the best parts. The beans are good. I like beans. You need beans. And then I kind of paused for a moment. Oh yeah. I got a convenience store just down the road. I can go there. And so I walked down to the convenience store, and I walked in, and I looked at the cashier, and I Well, not the cat. Yeah, I guess the cashier. I was thinking the cash register. No, I didn't stare at the cash register. I stared at the guy behind the cash register, and he kind of just looked back at me, just. Can I help you, sir? Oh yeah, sorry, I was staring off into space over there for a second. I'm looking for some beans. Can you point me in the direction of the beans, sir? Actually, we got a slight problem. We are all out of beans today. It's just, we just run out. We've got a bean shortage. A bean shortage? You're making a joke, right? You're not actually experiencing a bean shortage? Sure, I wish I was joking, but there really is a bean crisis going on right about now. I can't really help you. Bean shortage. Ah, right, of course. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Hypothetically, if someone wanted to make some of the best tacos in the world, where would they go to get their new beans? Because, you need beans for these kinds of tacos. It's the best tacos in the world. You gotta have everything in there. So it's just, I need the beans. Well, sir, and I kind of gestures a little closer. And I lean in. And well, sir, you didn't hear this from me, but off in the fairy woods, there's some magic beans that you can get. Okay, these are fairies that it's technically not legal beans. They outlawed them, but there are certain places. If you knock on a tree stump 3 times and talk to the little fairy that's there, he'll guide you in and he'll show you all the locations of all the magic beans that you want. It'll make your taco even better. Thank you, Mr. Cash Register, Cashier. Right, sorry, I was talking to the cash register. I don't know why. Mr. Cashier, thank you for your help. You're welcome. Yeah, again, you didn't hear it from me. If my manager comes for you, just, don't tell him I sent you. Tell them Billy over there sent you. Why, Billy? He's been slacking off lately. I think he could feel straightening up a little bit. Ah, okay. I'll be sure to let him know if I see your manager. And I walked out, and I sadly did not see the manager. I wanted to have Billy just work a little harder, just get those extra hours in and understand what it's like to work sometimes. But no, Billy was left untouched and still a little lazy. But he did learn one day. But that's beside the point. The point was I was off to the fairy woods. And the fairy woods is not close by whatsoever. It's pretty far, a couple days journey. So I walked and I ate berries and I slept in the woods and I traveled off to the fairy woods. And you could tell it was the fairy woods because it was a lot brighter. It's a lot of fireflies no matter what time of day it was. Night or day, you had fireflies going all over the place. I think there was a talking bush somewhere. And I eventually came across the tree stump. You knew it was the tree stump because all the trees there's not a single tree in the fairy woods that is cut down. That is one of the rules of the fairy woods. They got very tall trees, but this one was a stump. And so I did a little 3 times knock. That was technically 4, but I think they still got the message. And a small little hatch opened, and a little fairy, just like tiny little fairy wings, all green and glittery and colorful, floated up in front of my face and just looked at me and just said, "You a cop?" No, I'm here for some beans. What kind of beans are you looking for exactly? The best you got. Something more mystical, perhaps. Magical for some tacos. Beans for some tacos, eh? Alright. I'll let you in. Just, Don't try any funny business. And the little fairy fluttering down kind of happily, leaving a little glitter trail behind, went in back into the stump, and the entire top half opened, and I had to climb down in there, clamber down. It was a very tight squeeze, but I managed to fit. And there I fell into a giant mole tunnel, filled to the brim with little outcroppings where ants seem to have like traveled through, or worms or something. Big worms, not small worms. But there are a bunch of fairies and creatures. There was that talking bush from before. And there was a fae instead of fairies. They're pixie fairies and they're fae fairies. One of them sells you candy, the other one sells you children. It's a bit different. Like stolen children. But I digress. I was not looking for any stolen children today. No, I was looking for beans. And I saw it. Billy's Bean Market. Right down the path and off to the left. So I walked down the tunnel trying to avoid the tiny little stands. And I sat there in front to the little bean market so I could look down. And I just looked down there and I said, "Excuse me. I'm looking for some beans." And a little man, just about kind of like a dwarf, he looked like. No, it wasn't a dwarf. It was just like a little boy. And he looked up at me and just said, "Yeah, beans. What kind of beans do you want?" "Magic beans. The best magic beans you got." "Uh-huh. Okay, here, let me get my brother for 1 second. Hey, Jack! Yeah? This guy wants some magic beans. Can you give him some?" Sorry, I kind of just ran out a little bit." "What do you mean you ran out?" "I mean, I ran out." "You don't have any more beans?" "No. What if the giant wanted to give you some?" "No, he's got the goose, man. He doesn't have the beans. I got the beans. And I don't have them anymore." Alright. Sorry, mister. We don't got any beans here. Just me and my brother. We were just hanging out and yeah, sorry. We got some regular, slightly expired beans, though, if you want that. That's 50% off, if that's something you're interested in. No, thank you, though. But, listen, here, okay, this is a bit problematic. I was hoping you guys would have some beans, but I guess not. Is there any other place you can point me in? Well, I mean, hey, Jack! Yeah? How'd you lose them? "Well, a mole stole them and ran off." Go after that mole. Yeah. Go after the mole. Just run down the tunnel and see what the mole has to give me. Yeah, exactly. Just go after the mole. Where can I find this mole? Hey, Bill! Hey, Jack! Okay, Jack! I'll just ask him so you don't back and forth. Where'd the mole go? The mole went that way. Which way's that way? To the left. Thank you. Okay, thank you for your help, Billy and Jack. I'm gonna go after this mole. And so I ran down one of the tunnels. I accidentally bumped into a few carts. But I ran at full speed. And I kind of got tired and realized, yeah, I don't need to run this fast. And so I kind of just walked and found the mole like 20 feet ahead of me. And there it was. The mole. Standing directly in front of me. And I looked at him. I looked him up and down and I said, "Excuse me, sir, mole." Who's there?" "I'm here to grab your beans. You stole some beans from good old Jackie boy back there. And so I'm here to get those beans back." Well, you see, it's probably a little late here, pal. I just took these beans." "You took them?" You mean like you ate them? No, no, wait, I took them. Like you grabbed them, or just no? I took the beans. I took a couple beans, and really feeling it starting to kick in right now. Okay, maybe it's good that I didn't take those beans. Listen, man, if you're able to even hear very well what I'm saying with whatever's going on with you, can you put me in any direction of any other beans? Oh, absolutely. What kind of beans do you want? Normal beans. Ah, fine. Okay, if you go like a few days west, you'll eventually find Candyland. They got some jelly beans there. That could act as a good substitute. Because it's kind of a sugar. That's a bit of a rush, isn't it? Listen, pal, I'm not looking for any rushes of any kind, but I still appreciate the thought and opinion and directions. Thank you. And so, because I didn't want to go all the way back up to the tree stump, I just decided to climb out through the dirt. That proved to be a lot more difficult than I thought. That took about a day, actually, just to get out from underneath the tree stump. I probably could have just gone back the way I came. But, you know, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be, like, fancy and seem cool by getting myself covered in dirt. But either way, I emerged and I walked off towards Candyland. And you know when you enter Candyland, because everything's made of candy. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think I have to explain that one very much. But I walked off towards the Candyland, and I went there and I trembled. I asked a few candy people, say, hey, do you know I can get some jelly beans? And they just say, just a guy this way. Oh, there's a guy that way. But they were all sold out. The jelly bean market was going crazy today. I didn't even know. But then eventually, I stumbled upon a place. Like, it was a great place. It was full of candy. A candy stop in, not candy stop, a candy store in Candyland. It was amazing. Yeah, all the different kinds of candies. And you know what they said on the front? Jelly bean guarantee. And I walked into that store. And I walked up to the person behind the counter. It was like he was a big lollipop man. And I looked at him and I said, excuse me, sir. Sorry for slamming the table. But I want some jelly beans. Okay, yeah, you really gotta buy something first. Well, that's what the guarantee is. Yeah, if you buy something, then you get some jelly beans in return. That's how that works. Yeah, okay, I'll go get some jelly beans. I mean, some other stuff. I'll get the jelly beans from getting the other stuff. There you go, now you're getting the hang of it. Okay. And I quickly ran off and bought the first thing I could and brought it back to the counter, handed them the money, and I said, what's your name? Hank. Hank, name's Hank. Alright, Hank, glad I said your name before you said your name. I just wanted to guess for fun. Okay. Where are my jelly beans? How many jelly beans do I get? Well, sir, I'll get you your jelly beans. Oh, thank you so much. Eventually. Eventually? Elaborate on the, eventually. Well, sir, it's with our guarantee, it's not exactly. We're kind of low on jelly beans right now. We got a bit of a jelly bean crisis. Everyone's low on jelly beans. It's just, but once we do get jelly beans, we will get it to your house. So long as you are on our mailing list, we will get those jelly beans to your home, to your door, and you will have those jelly beans right there in front of you. But I can't wait that long. You don't understand. I can't wait that long. I've already had a multi-day journey. My tacos are probably starting to get bad. I can't wait that long. Alright, sir, calm down. We'll figure something out, okay? Just there's one place. There's one more place that you may be able to go to get these jelly beans. Uh-huh. And that is from Tina. Tina, the jelly bean maker. I guess she's not a jelly bean maker. She's just a bean maker. She makes beans, all kinds of beans. She has the biggest bean farm in town. Which town? Her town. Oh, that's pretty impressive. Oh, so where can I find this Tina? Well, she lives a couple of weeks that way. Couple of weeks. Okay. All right. Just that way? That way over there? Yeah, that way over there. All right. Well, thanks for everything, Hank. And I'll go off in that direction. So hopefully find Tina and the beans. Alright, here we go. So I wandered for several weeks. I fell off a cliff at one point. I was okay with that. Put me back a few days, which wasn't great. And I just kept walking. I was walking and walking. And I was ready to find this Tina. And never did I stumble upon her home. That was until I walked so far and for so long that eventually the home, I could see it. I could see the bean plants all up on the home, all over the place, all over the walls, the ceiling, everywhere. It was covered in beans. Like the plants, and I walked up, I ran up, I knocked on the front door, and a sweet old lady came out. Oh, hello, dearie. How may I help you? Ah, you must be Tina. Listen, I really am in need of some beans. I'm making some tacos. It's the best tacos in the world. And I just need you to, help me with these beans, okay? I heard you got all the beans back. Okay. We're back. We're back, folks. We are back. It's just a momentary blip in the system. We're okay. We're all good. Everything's working now. Just like I said, a momentary blip. It's okay now. Everything's a-okay. But either way, let's get back. Let's get back to the story, shall we? So, where was I? Oh, yes, I was thanking Tina. I wasn't thanking her. She was thanking me for me mentioning how impressive it is to have this big bean place, this biggest bean place in all the land in her town. And she was thanking me, and she said, well, dearie, I would love nothing more to give you some beans. Oh, thank goodness. But there's just one minor issue. Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be? Well, there's always one minor issue. What is it? Well, you see, I'm sure you've heard about the crash with the bean market these past couple of days. Yes, I have. Well, the one problem is that that's because my beans aren't growing. I give beans to everybody else, but if my beans don't grow, then there's no one to give it to. I can't give it to anybody if I don't have any beans. So what you're telling me is that because none of your beans grew, well, they grew, but then they wilted and died. Wilted? Withered. You said wilted. Yeah, well, as I'm an old lady, I sometimes mess up with my words. Leave me alone, young man. All right, I'm sorry, okay. So all your beans, they withered and died. And so now you have a lack of beans because there's no more beans. Because they all died, and that's why the crash happened. That's why you can't get beans anywhere. Precisely. So, I do know how you may be able to get some more beans. You do? What would that be? Well, You see, there's one little trick that I know. You must travel up the river Styx. Say what now? The river Styx. I'm sure you've heard of it. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely, ma'am. I've absolutely heard of the river Styx. I think that's pretty common knowledge. What am I gonna find up at the river Styx exactly? Well, of course, your afterlife. And from there, a bunch of dead beans. Of course, I'm gonna have to use a bunch of dead beans because they all withered and died. That was what you said. Okay, what's the fastest way to the river Styx? Right over there. He's right behind your house. Yeah, you live in a quite exotic location. I like it. It's nice. Actually, come with you. I've been meaning to talk with Grim past couple of days. I haven't chatted in a long while, and it's kind of a little shocked about this old lady. Just, oh, okay, yeah, we can go up to and visit Grim if you want. It's perfectly fine with that. Okay. And so me and this lady got in a rowboat and we started rowing up the river, up and up. And we traveled far, and we traveled high. And we kept on going and rowing and just having all around a pretty nice time. And then we eventually saw it. Everything started to get more dark. It was more quiet. Everything was just, like, seemed more peaceful in a way, but also kind of dark and ominous all at the same time. And so we kept rowing, and there we saw a cloaked figure in the distance. An ominous presence lay ahead, and it turned around, met with a skeleton face, and he said, "Oh, hey, Tina." "Hi, Grim, how's that?" "Not bad. What brings you up here to my humble abode?" Just dropping this one off. You see, this one here has some beans that he desires. From you specifically. You are the only one here who has the beans that he wants, because everywhere else, all the beans are gone and dead. Yes, because of the crash. Of course, the crash. Always with the crashes. But you have a bunch of beans here at your place, so I thought I'd just drop by and say hello and send them off to you to give him some beans. Well, Tina, I like nothing more than give this young man some ghost beans. Come up here. Okay. I don't really have like a package to hold these in. No, that's all right. That's perfectly fine. Here, I got an idea for you. And he, so graciously, pulled out my hooves. He grabbed my hooves with his bony hand. And he reached into a pot and grabbed out a bunch of glowy ghost beans and just plopped them into my hands. And I just stood there staring down these beans, just exotic. Okay, yeah, that's really smells like death and covered in ectoplasm, but I'm sure it'll make a great taco. Oh, I'm sure too, young man. Now head off to your home. Actually, as a matter of fact, I'll bring you there. I believe the river Styx travels right behind your house, in fact. It does? The river Styx? Behind my house? Why, yes, of course, I believe so. How far does this river Styx go, exactly? Oh, plenty of places, young boy. Plenty of places. You see, I need to get around in order to collect the souls of the dead. Of course. Alright, we can go. You can go do that. And so I hopped in the boat with him, and he sat down beside me, and he started to row away. And Tina was there with us. made it all the more impressive. It made it all the more impressive the fact that her town, she had the best beans in her town, and that town happened to be my town. So now I could just go to her whenever I needed beans. It's pretty great. But that's beside the point. I walked in, I was prepared to make the tacos, but I realized something when I walked in. Being gone for over several weeks, your tacos aren't going to be good anymore, especially if you already made them. And so they weren't good. In fact, they were fly infested. I had to get all the flies off. One of them landed on the beans, but luckily it died immediately due to the amount of death and ectoplasm on it. But I was feeling very defeated. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know. And I sat down and I just said, I don't know what to do. I went on this big journey. And for what? No beans. I mean, I got the beans, but the rest of the tacos ruined. And I heard several voices from behind me. One of them I recognized very distinctly. Just, well, we can help with that. And I turned around and I saw the fairy. I saw Billy and Jack. I saw the cashier. I saw the other lazy Billy. I saw Tina and Death because they were there before. And I saw Hank. Somehow they all got my address, but I didn't care. They were all here. And the fairy looked at me and just said, we're gonna help you make those tacos. And I say, thank you, grizzled old fairy. I really appreciate it. And so together we started stirring and making stuff. We got taco shells from the convenience store. A bunch of candy lettuce from the candy place. Tina brought a couple of her spare beans. Very special ones that she only keeps in secret patches. And Death, he just kind of stood there and oversaw it all. Because he already gave me his beans. The pixie, the fairy, sprinkled some fairy dust on it. And the two brothers were the main chefs. They were great chefs. We all worked in the kitchen together. And the other Billy, sat there on his phone. I understand why the other guy wanted to give him trouble. He's not good at his job at all. But in the end, we made it. We made all the tacos. And plus, I was even feeling nice. I made one for lazy Billy as well. And I tried this exotic taco. There was ingredients from all over the land. And I gotta say, that was the best dang taco I've ever had. And I wouldn't have had it with anyone else than with some complete strangers who I talked to once and helped me point me in a direction where they thought there were more beans. The end. Yeah! That was fun. I enjoyed that one. It was a bit of a longer story. We did get a crash midway through. But you know what? It's more fun that way. What's a fun stream without scuff? You need scuff every so often. It's just a part of life. It's a part of what you do. You need some tech issues. But thank you, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. I guess all those things kind of mean the same thing, but I said it 3 different times, and I was gonna say 3 different ways, but no, that'd be told 9 times. So I just said it 3 different ways, and you know what? I'm proud of it. So once again, Friday, more Silk Song. I'll have a slight adjustment to the theater. You won't notice it right away, but you will notice it eventually, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. But also, if you want, you can submit your own story prompts, improv story prompts, whatever they may be. They can just like be as long and as short as possible. You don't even have to like give your name if you want to. You can if you want. You will get full credit. But if you want to remain anonymous, you can as well. But if you want, just click on that. 2 quick, simple questions. It's easy. And I definitely think this stream will bring us up with the affiliate. So if you, like, we just need one more day with an average of 3 viewers, and I'll officially be able to get paid. Isn't that awesome? I'm gonna get paid. That's something, man. It really is something. But again, like I always say at the end of these, in order to get that, please just share me with your friends, family, anyone who would ever find me remotely funny and be able to stick through these streams to the end, or at least to a point where, you know, we get that average of 3 viewers. But until then, until next Friday when I come back with more Silk Song and a slightly adjusted theme about our doodad, I'm head back out to space. If you're in space, I'll see you there. And if not, then I won't. And maybe you can go out someplace, wherever that may be, and make yourself some tacos. And hopefully, they're the best dang tacos you ever had in your life. Bye!